segment called Senior Moments with the lovely Leslie Vick.
Yes, hi.
And yes, it's so great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful. And
Yes.
so we've done lots of different topics with Leslie,
Yes.
all about caring for people in our later years.
Yes.
And you can get all of those on our website. So I just want to shout that out really fast, kttc.com, Midwest Access Senior Moments. But I wanted to bring us kind of back to what your story is and how, you began writing this book, and how did you get to be the queen of all things here in finding our way?
Yes. Well, after caregiving for different family members, and my mother had a pretty bad fall, went from living independently to an aftercare facility, and then having to be moved to assisted living.
So in a moment, basically, and that's not uncommon. That happens often.
Right.
Yeah.
And caregiving for my dad and some family members, I had an idea of things that needed to be done. We had preparation with my mother, like being a power of attorney,
so
knowing her doctors,
big things.
right. Some of those things were out of the way, but we had never really discussed assisted living.
Sure.
And we had to make all the decisions.
Yeah.
So there was a lot that we had to do in a very short period of time, even moving her and how that was going to look, and deciding what she was going to keep and what she wasn't going to keep.
All of these things are really difficult decisions, and I think when you are prepared ahead of time, which is what you talk about in your book and what we talk about weekly, is getting some of those things prepared ahead of time, you can then focus on that person. You can focus on navigating that part of the journey and their health and whatever's happening there, rather than having to also focus on where's mom's social security number? Was dad in the military? When was that? Where's the power of attorney? Do we have a power of attorney? All of those kinds of things are difficult.
And that's what prompted me to write the book.
Okay.
And just thinking, how does everybody know all this?
Right.
There's a book on what to expect when you're expecting.
Right, very true.
There isn't for this stage. And so I look at what I wrote very much like that, with the tips and the resources and just the stories that I went through myself.
Which, that alone, that connection, and just knowing that you're not the only one that has gone through this, and this is how someone else navigated it. We talk a lot about that in different areas on our show, about how to keep going through difficult situations. And so I think a huge part is connecting you with the right resources, and hopefully before you're in that situation.
Right.
So you have gathered, you went through this, saw there wasn't a resource, and then decided to make one.
Right. And so I just kept writing. It was very cathartic, especially, going through those stages with my mother, moving her, and really living a lot of that. And she has been in a care facility, but I still continue to care for her.
Right.
I still continue to make sure bills are paid.
Yes.
I make sure, talk with her doctors.
Yes.
Depending on where that person is in their care, they still, even though they're in a facility or a nursing home or have home care, they still need help.
There's a lot. Yes. Even if you are in full nursing home care, long-term care, there's still care conferences. There's still phone calls back and forth. There's of course just visiting too. And that is what I love about all of the information that you've gathered, is you make it so that if we need that information, we can get that information, and then we can spend time with our loved ones. Just quality time.
Right, and not be running around for them or cleaning their house or running errands, and then you have to go home and do the same thing for yourself.
For yourself and your kids, possibly, if they're still at home, which that happens a lot, where you've got both sides that you're caring for, and all of that. So as well as tips on how to take care of yourself through this.
Exactly. And just, remembering that you're doing the best that you can. And you're trying to honor your loved one. And you're having conversations. So it's not so dark and hard. And it's not, well, have to figure it out on your own,
Right.
and you're lonely about,
Yeah.
you know, feeling all that frustration.
It's really tough, and the you know, family dynamics too that you have, and
Right.
we've said many times,
Right.
you know, reason you have those conflicts is because you both care, or you all care so much about your parent, you know, or
Right.
about your spouse, you know, whoever it is. That's kind of where that all comes from. But if you can be prepared ahead of time, and you can, as you know, just for yourself, have those things written down, or
Right.
have approached those topics with your parent.
Absolutely.
Then everybody can kind of feel like, okay,
You have a guide.
we're doing what mom. Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yes. A guide to find our way.
Right, exactly.
Well, you can connect with
Yes.
Leslie at leslievickbooks.com.
Yes.
And also we are sponsored by GrandPad, and so GrandPad.com has is a wonderful product, and some resources there that you
Right.
can use.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Leslie.
Thank you for having me.
We love it. We love
Yeah.
it. Every week, Senior Moments with Leslie Vick here on Tuesdays on KTTC Midwest Access. All right, we'll see you back with more Midwest Access in just a few minutes.